What's good, my people? Been thinking to myself, man, come a long way. Got my little DT shirt on and, you know, living like, a pretty good life, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to bills being paid and being able to do the things that I desire. And, I thought to myself, I've been thinking about the aspect of, like money and like, what does that really mean? There's so much tied up around it, negativity as well as positive things. And like on this earth, you need it to be able to survive. But at the same time, man, it doesn't actually bring genuine happiness from within. And, I thought to myself, when it comes to being able to generate, abundance for yourself, specifically through, gaining, actual monetary, gains, at the end of the day, any person that is making money, they have developed something within themselves that attracts it to them. So whether that's a skill, whether that's something that they provide, whether that's, something that they solve, that is how that energy starts to manifest to you. And then you have to also be open to it. And not to say that there are people who don't, make money from nefarious type of ways that are, not rooted in goodness, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like something comes back from that within them as well. So it doesn't all come from a good place for them as well, even if they're making money, but doing it in a bad way. But for the most part, it's something that you're having to create within yourself to be able to get to that kind of space. And so what made me think to myself is, what made me come to this conclusion is, when I first started this journey, what was it, 10 years ago, I was making, $600 every 2 weeks, pretty much, living in a state of poverty, had a son, had bills to pay and, didn't have a lot to offer when it comes to, financial abilities. And, but what I did have, man, is, who I was within. And it was kind of interesting that during that time period, man, I'm over here making like YouTube videos and, posting stuff on Instagram, Facebook, at my gym, like everybody knew who I was. And like, man, I just felt so happy. I was so free. I was so in tune with who I really am. And I was allowing my energy to manifest in a way that people could receive it and connect to it. And I felt so happy. And, I felt so prosperous, even though when I came home, I didn't have a lot. I was living with 2 people that I didn't even know. And, me and my son slept in the same bed. And it was just this little bitty room with barely anything in it. And I should kind of be this, I would be confused because I would say to myself like, man, why do I feel so good? Why do I feel so prosperous? But, according to the world, I'm poor, you know what I'm saying, on a financial type of level. But what's interesting is that Devin back then, 10 years ago, is why I'm in this place, in this Devin that I am today, that, is it bringing in, enough money where, I don't have any kind of financial issues and like I can do what I want. And it just made me realize that, the thing that's most important is who you are on the inside. And you have to allow who you are to be seen. You got to allow your energy to be expressed in its authentic way. And, many times that takes practice because we have been, from our life experiences, things that have happened to us, we're continually bombarded with, this idea that who you are isn't okay. So then we learn how to be something different than what our true energy really is. And, maybe on a short term, it brings some level of peace or some level of, calmness, to where there's no issues that come about. But big picture, man, it's a self-sabotage, it's betrayal to self. And then, if you can learn to be something that you're not and like actually, be able to function, imagine what you can be when you relearn to be yourself. Like you remember to be yourself, you become a member of who you truly are again. And like, yeah, it does take some time and there is some sense of anxiety and uncomfortableness because you've been so in alignment with this other aspect of yourself and you showing people something that's not you, and then maybe people don't know how to handle you really being yourself. And there's a time of transition that can be hard and like bring tension because the people that see you as well as even yourself, you don't feel comfortable being yourself. But what I can tell you, man, where the true richness is, where the true, prosperity that never goes away, that is something that's eternal, that can transition to, prosperous things on an external level that you can't even imagine, is being true to yourself, letting your prosperity from within be your guiding system. And then, the money, the cars, whatever those things are that are external and material, they will show themselves, they will come. But, what a shame to have prosperity on the outside, but not be prosperous internally. You know what I mean? And so I'm realizing, man, like you got to take the risk and be courageous enough to let who you really are be seen, and this is a world of contrast. This is not a world of us, compromising and, being like everybody else. It's okay for you to be who you are. If you're not hurting anybody, if you're not causing problems for people that they can't fix for themselves, like you can't worry about that. If somebody doesn't like you for being who you are, you can't worry about it. If there's decisions that you choose to make that are not in alignment with this world, you have that right. We have the free will to be who we want to be. And from that space, you got to give others the space to do that same thing. You can't expect, even for yourself to feel comfortable being yourself if you don't allow other people to be themselves. If you're telling people how they need to be and making them feel bad, because it's the same thing that's inside of your own heart that you are blocking, so you got to be okay with who you really are and be courageous enough to let that be seen. And then you also got to allow people the space to be who they are as well, even if it feels uncomfortable. And, from that level, amazing things can happen. And so I'm just challenging you guys, whoever is still watching this, to, start moving down that path of taking responsibility of, allowing yourself to be who you are, even if it means you may lose people, even if it means people may not get you or understand you. That's okay, because the people that do, they're going to love you from a real place. They're going to be able to accept you from a real place. And that's going to be your tribe. That's going to be your people who are going to help you be able to rise up. And then you're inspiring them. They're inspiring you. So, I don't want to hold you up too much, but remember, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. All right, peace, guys.